Russian ambassador, Uganda's ambassador to the Russian Federation, that is Moses Kizige, is with me in studios. And what we are going to be discussing is the upcoming third session of the Intergovernmental Commission on Economic, Scientific and Technical Cooperation, that is between Uganda and the Russian Federation. This will run in Uganda on the 7th to the 8th of October in Munyonyo this very year. Thank you once again for being with us. Now join me welcome my guest this morning, His Excellency. You're most welcome.
Good morning, viewers, and I'm delighted to be at UBC once again after many years. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and I want to thank you for finding time to host us as the Embassy of the Republic of Uganda in Moscow. Moscow is where we are based, but we cover the Russian Federation, we cover the Republic of Belarus, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Moldova, Georgia, and Mongolia. These are all very important partners in Uganda's development, and we are happy that we are here. But the purpose today is to talk about the third session of Intergovernmental Commission between the Russian Federation and the Republic of Uganda on cooperation in many areas: economic cooperation, scientific cooperation, technical cooperation, education, among others. Yes.
Now, when you talk about Uganda's cooperation with Russia, one would say it started as early as 1962. That is the diplomatic relations. But let's first understand this Intergovernmental Commission between Russia and Uganda. Let's have a brief background for my audience to better understand, so that they better also have an informed view of what you're going to be discussing.
Like you've rightly pointed out, Uganda's diplomatic relations with Russia was signed on the 13th of October 1962, 4 days after our independence, and it has continued unchallenged, and it continues to improve every day. But in 2012, His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni visited the Russian Federation on his first official visit to the Russian Federation, and it was agreed at that time that we should set up a permanent intergovernmental commission which would be discussing issues that come up that will strengthen our cooperation. As people know very well, the Russian Federation has been very supportive to Uganda and to Africa in general. The relationship dates way back in 1917, when the African National Congress was formulated to fight fascism in South Africa, and with the support of the then Soviet Union, the African National Congress became a strong power and helped many movements in the African independence struggle to achieve independence. So even after the dissolution of the Soviet Union about 1991-1993, we continued working with the Russian Federation as Uganda. We've been engaging a lot of support from the Russian Federation. But after the president's visit, and it was agreed that they should set up a commission, the first meeting of the commission took place here in Uganda, chaired by with the Honorable Alfred Okello Oriem, the State Minister for International Cooperation in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as a joint chair, and we have a joint chair from the Russian side. Then we had a second session in May 2018, and after that it was agreed that the third session be held in Uganda, and it's been waiting. It was delayed, first because of COVID, but also you all know that in 2022, the time that the meeting was supposed to take place, Russia went into a special military operation with its neighbors. So that complicated the issue for some time. But now finally we are ready to host the third session, and we have so much to discuss from the first two sessions, but also we've had so many developments. Right now we have about 6 memorandum of understanding ready for signing, but we also have some others under consideration, another 19 also. So that's why we are moving in this direction. But in addition to the Intergovernmental Commission, we shall have a business session. We are working with PASAID, which is headed by Senior Presidential Advisor Audric Rabogo, the Private Sector Foundation, Uganda National Chamber of Commerce, and then the Ministry of Trade. We are working with them to link up progressive businessmen from Russian Federation who want to come and do business in Uganda, and also Ugandans who want to export their products to Russia. It will be a side meeting, but it is equally important.
Now, to get it more clear, you talked about the first session that was held in Uganda, the second that was held, that is Moscow?
In Moscow, yes.
Now, the third that is coming back home to Uganda.
Yes.
Now, for our viewer watching us, who is not a diplomat like you, who is not working at an embassy, where do we stand to benefit? In fact, why even do we have these sessions? Away from saying His Excellency visited in 2012 and then they agreed, what is there for me, if at all there is?
First of all, our viewers and listeners need to appreciate what the Russian Federation is in global politics. The Russian Federation is a P5, meaning that it is a permanent member of the Security Council, just like United Kingdom, France, China, and the United States of America. So if it vetoes any matter in the Security Council, a resolution of the UN that has been vetoed by any of the P5s does not hold. So it is a very important partner. Secondly, the Russian Federation is a very strategic partner for Uganda. For time immemorial, it has been training professionals in different fields, especially in the field of science and technology. If you look at Makerere University, for instance, the College of Engineering has 12 full professors. Out of the 12 full professors, 8 are Russian trained. So this is, you cannot ignore the Russian Federation for any reason. They are very advanced, and we are aspiring as a country to do space science. Russia was the first to do space science. We are looking at developing peaceful nuclear energy for peaceful use. We are looking at enhancing, we are looking at a science-led economy, economic growth. And Russia is #1 in science development. But on top of all that, if we use the PPP, that is the purchasing power parity method of evaluating economies, Russian Federation comes #4 after China, the United States of America, and India. So we are looking at the 4th largest economy globally, and which is ready to open up for us to take our products to the Russian Federation. So when we improve trade between Uganda and Russian Federation, we may even not have to look at other economies. If we just supply the Russian economy, like with our coffee, you can't believe it. We will not have to look for anywhere else. We're also looking at the population of the Russian Federation dropping significantly because people no longer want to produce, just like other economies. In China, the population is dropping. In Japan, the population is dropping. In Italy, the population has dropped significantly. In the last 30, 40 years, the population of Russia has dropped from 192 million to about 140 now. So there are so many gaps in the employment. While the economy is growing, there are no people to take up jobs. So we are looking at cooperation such that we find jobs for Ugandans, for professionals, for semi-professionals. Instead of looking at the Middle East for our young ladies, our young girls, we can look at the Russian Federation. So we are opening up this. This cooperation will give a more conducive environment for our cooperation between the Russian Federation and Uganda. Last and most important, right now, Ugandans must be aware that there was a setup that came up, the BRICS arrangement. That is the Brazil, Russia, India, and China and South Africa. It started with just those 5 countries. But since the BRICS has expanded, they've admitted more member states like Turkey, United Arab Emirates, among others. But they've also adopted some countries whom they feel they should work with, and Uganda is one of them. Since January this year, Uganda has become a member of the BRICS arrangement, and our membership was sponsored by the Russian Federation. So we are discussing so many things beyond local politics, beyond Uganda and what. In this team, we shall be having officials from the Central Bank of Russia coming to look at how we can manage our monies and make transfers without antagonizing the existing global systems, but for the betterment of the economy of Uganda and our relationship as two countries.
Now, that said, why actually this conference is important to you, let's look at the actual people that are going to be part of this. The delegation, if you're at liberty, both this side or the other side that are coming in, and what topics of concern, because you've just hinted on, if you can go in depth for us to see what are the key areas you're going to be tackling.
First of all, we have long-term outstanding relationships, like in the area of defense and the security. We have collaboration and cooperation. Ugandans may be interested to know that Russia is a very, very dependable partner in ensuring that our national borders are very safe. So we shall have discussions in that area. But also cyber security, biological security, and rest of that. We also have cooperation already existing in the areas of health. For instance, many of you have seen a mobile laboratory, the only one we have in Africa right now, which can check and get results for any epidemic, is epidemiological related, and when there is Ebola in DRC, when there is Marburg in Uganda, when there is cholera anywhere, whatever epidemic that comes up, this mobile laboratory, which was donated to us by the Russian Federation, is taken there and it produces results instantly, and then we are able to handle the epidemics. As you may be aware, Russia was the first to discover a COVID vaccine. They discovered it within less than 2 months. They locked their country for 3 weeks, immunized everybody, and then they opened up. We've not had cases like we've heard of other vaccines from other countries that have been complained about. So we are looking for cooperation. They are looking at helping us put up a plant for yellow fever vaccination instead of importing vaccines. We are looking at trade. For instance, we've already opened up the Russian economy for coffee from Uganda. We now want to go to the level of exporting processed coffee from Uganda, such that we don't lose money in the process. We are looking at increasing the number of scholarships given to Ugandans. Right now we get 50 scholarships. We can get more. We are looking at increasing the relationship in the areas of science, space science. We have already a satellite in the space. But we want to, because Russia was the first to send a satellite in the space. So we want to strengthen our space science and the rest of that. We've already talked about the nuclear energy, peaceful use of nuclear energy. Uganda is in the process of developing 2 nuclear stations, one in Ibuyende district and another one in Nakasongola district. The one in Ibuyende has already been given to the Koreans. The one in Nakasongola shall be developed by the Russian Federation government. As long as the negotiations in this meeting that we are going to have go very well. We are looking at, we don't have a maintenance facility for planes at Entebbe Airport. Our planes must be flown elsewhere for maintaining. But the Civil Aviation, Uganda Civil Aviation Authority is working with the Russian Civil Aviation Authority to make sure that they provide those facilities. We're even looking at the possibility of having direct flights, maybe by Uganda Airlines or other airlines from Uganda to Russia. So there are so many areas that we shall be looking at. So we shall be having ministers come from Russia and ministers come from Ugandan government. We have people coming from public universities to sign MOUs with our public universities here. We have the Chamber of Commerce of Uganda signing MOUs with the Federal Chamber of Commerce of Russia and the State Chambers of Commerce. We have specific businessmen who are looking for links in the areas of mining, petroleum, and processing the minerals that we have here, such that, as the president always argues, let us expect them when they are processed. So they are coming to look for opportunities and the partnerships. So it will be a whole range of things, but all in the interest of the Republic of Uganda and the Russian Federation.
There are some memorandums of understanding, about 19, and we expect these in this third session. Please throw more light into this.
We have quite a list of memorandum of understandings that are pending. I could just read through them.
Please do.
I could just go through what is has already been, what has been approved for signing. We have a draft memorandum of understanding on exemption of passports, visa exemptions for diplomatic and the service passports. The Russians are happy to do it even for ordinary passports, but as ambassador, I've been hesitant to do that, because of recent we've had some Ugandans who are deceived that once you enter Russia, you can go through Belarus or other countries and enter Europe. So I don't want to open it too early. We shall do that after we've taken care of our own Ugandans. But this one for official and diplomatic passports is ready for signing. A draft memorandum on cooperation in the field of health is also ready for signing. A draft memorandum in bilateral cooperation in the field of agriculture is signed, because our fruits, our avocado, our pineapples, our precious commodities in Russia. Russia is a country which for about 7 to 8 months they have snow. So you can't grow some crops. So whatever we have here is precious in Russia. But for us to be able to export it to Russia, we need that memorandum of understanding, such that they are also sure of who is producing them, they organic and rest of that. So that one is also going to be signed. A draft memorandum of intent on cooperation in the field of tourism between the Ministry of Culture of the Russian Federation and the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities of the Republic of Uganda is cleared and waiting signature.
We are waiting for signatures.
Yes, because there are so many, the Russians travel a lot. When it is, like I've told you, we have close to 8 months of snow. So when there is the summer, then people want to travel. But in Africa, they go to South Africa, and then they talk about Kenya and Tanzania. We of recent we've increased. Every week we give out about 10 to 20 visas, but we can do better. So we are going to sign this. We also want the Russians to come here and put in place tourism infrastructure. For instance, the leisure ships which are in Russia, if only 3 or 4 of them are brought to Lake Victoria, it will change people's lives here in Uganda.
Wow.
Then we have pending memorandum of understanding, which are waiting clearance. The labor supply partnership, which I've talked about.
Yes.
That one is now on the Russian side. Because the Russian law requires that for somebody to come and work in Russia, they must have knowledge of Russian language and Russian culture. So we want it to be that exempt, that to be exempt. Memorandum on ensuring biological security. The counter proposal was submitted and is pending response from Russia. Draft agreement on cooperation between the Federal Assembly of the Federation of Russia and the Parliament of Uganda is currently, this was initiated by the Russian side at the Solicitor General's desk, pending clearance. Draft memorandum of understanding between the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Volgograd region in the Russian Federation and the Uganda National Chamber of Commerce. You know, like I've said, Russia is a country is a federal state with the 87 plus 2 regions, federal states. So Volgograd is one of the 87 regions, and each of these have a Chamber of Commerce with the capacity as big as the Uganda National Chamber of Commerce. So this one is awaiting clearance and signing. Memorandum of understanding in the field of technical regulation of standardization of metrology. That one is being processed. Drafting memorandum of understanding on mutual assistance in the customs matters, counter proposal, because you know our products that come into the country at Malaba, at Busia, and other border points, they take too long because we don't have the technology to assess what is in there and process it. And the Russians are ready to help in this. This one is also being handled. And then memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Education of the Russian Federation and the Republic of Uganda is also being considered. First of all, in developing sports, because Russia is one of the very highly developed countries in sports, but also it will give us more scholarships. Right now, the students just apply online. The ministry is not involved in the selection of the students, but once this is streamlined, maybe the scholarships per year will be increased to 200, but also the students, the
How many
students,
scholarships are now given?
50. When I went as ambassador 3 years ago, they were only 15. I pushed and they've been increased to 50. Even those for this year have already been advertised for next
scholarships.
year. Those are scholarships. But partial scholarships because they only pay tuition. The accommodation is very cheap in Russia. It goes for the equivalent of about, for a semester, it goes for the equivalent of about 150,000 Uganda shillings.
Hey.
Yes, so it is cheap and the cost of living is low. What is important is the tuition. So we want to increase these scholarships, but also to be able to give some our Ugandan students some stipend to work on their welfare. Drafting memorandum of understanding between the government of the Republic of Uganda on the mutual recognition of education of education and qualifications. Because when a student qualifies from a Russian university, they have to go through a lot of certification and rest of that. Like because our the students in Russia study medicine in Russian. When they come back here, studying medicine in Russia takes 7 years because you do 1 year language, and then you do another 5 years, and then you do another year practicals. But when they return here, they must go through that 1 year's internship, which is mandatory for the university, and for good reasons, because there are not many tropical diseases in Russia like they are here. So, but when we sign this MOU and recognition of other certificates, you remember, I don't want to go into this, but some of you were hearing that the Vice Chancellor of Makerere does not have the right qualifications. Somebody was questioning because he got his first degree, his master's, and his PhD from Russian Federation. So to the mind of some people, they think those are not qualifications. So we want to sign an MOU saying that this is properly streamlined. Tula is another region with a request for a Chamber of Commerce and Industry MOU to be signed with the Uganda National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Draft protocol on cooperation between the Electoral Commission of Uganda and the Central Electoral Commission of the Russian Federation is also pending approval. Draft agreement on cooperation between the Prosecutor General's Office of the Russian Federation and Office of the Director of Public Prosecution here in Uganda is also being considered. Draft MOU between Atomic Energy Corporation, Rostom, this is the one which handles the atomic energy in the Russian Federation, and the Ministry of Energy of Uganda is also under consideration. And then lastly, the memorandum of understanding between the National Computer Incident Response and Coordination Center of the Ministry of ICT and the National Guidance in the field of detection, prevention and elimination of the consequences of counter attacks, as well as responding to computers. Well, this one was we finished. We cleared it yesterday. It's now ready for signing. So this is how far we've gone. These are the different areas.
Now there are 19 of them.
Yes.
Some it is us to sign. The other, you said it's the other side.
No. We shall all sign. But
sign all of them.
But yes, we hope they will not be cleared. But some we need responses from the other side, like the one on labor. We proposed. They asked some questions. We've given the responses. We are now waiting for the final this decision from the other side. Then we initial them, the ambassadors, once we initial them, then it only waits for the formality of the minister signing it during the meeting and rest of that.
Okay.
Yes.
Very interesting there how Uganda, we shall be benefiting more from the bilateral relationship that we have with the Russian Federation. And this is going to be happening at Speak Resort, Munyonyo?
Yes, it will be happening at Speak Resort, Munyonyo. It will be, we've been planning, knowing that the delegation is arrive on the 6th. But we've done a good job in marketing Uganda, because when you talk about Uganda and you talk about the shores of Lake Victoria, so the delegation is booked early. They will be arriving on the 5th. They'll be arriving on the 5th. They will have the 6th as a free day to themselves. Then the meetings are on the 7th and the 8th. And then on the 9th, His Excellency the President has invited them to the National Independence celebrations in Kololo. And then on the 10th they leave. Yes.
That will be then after this signing.
Yes.
Now, this is very important because our relationship with Russia, just like my guest explained, almost in all aspects of development, we've had Russia. Many of us know it in the aspect of security. Yes, one of the most prevailing thing is the AK-47. Now, when you talk about Russia, the first thing that comes to someone's mind is issues of security. But there's so much, like he has said, these 19 memorandums of understanding that are going to be signed between the government of Uganda and the Russian Federation. Now, I'm going to be going for a very short break. When I return, I'm still with my guest, and we are going to be still discussing what more do we have for Russia and Uganda in this conference that is going to be happening, that we are decided to call a commission, the Intergovernmental Commission. We are looking at the area of economics, science, and technical cooperation between these two states. Let's return.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Two nations, one destination. The Consulate General of Uganda in Mombasa presents the 4th Uganda-Kenya Coast Tourism Conference and Exhibition, a celebration of the intermarriage of tourism between Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, and Kenya, the Pride of Africa. Discover Uganda's adventure, from gorilla trekking and whitewater rafting to Kenya's rich wildlife and world-famous beaches. Delegates from Uganda will enjoy an exclusive fam trip to Kenyan coast from the 22nd to the 26th of October. Even tee off at the golf tournament at Vipingo Ridge on the 25th October, followed by the conference on the 27th to the 28th of October at Ocean Beach Resort and Spa in Malindi. Register today on our website www.thetourismconference.org. Join us and be part of the future where Uganda meets Kenya and Africa shines brighter.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis, either in law or in fact.
We have been told how Napoleon was a great orator. Now, Napoleon cannot help me get food. They told me combine harvest in Saskatchewan. I don't know where Saskatchewan is. This is a geography we're taught. Instead of teaching me how to preserve Mabera forest, they're teaching me about Rhineland. This is a problem we got. We cannot run away from it.
Right now, you hear very disgusting stories of members of parliament. Instead of discussing the details of loans, they ask for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda. Live from UBC studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break, and thank you for being with us on UBC TV. We are still looking at the third session of the Intergovernmental Commission on Economic, Scientific and Technical Cooperation between Uganda and the Russian Federation. Now, this is going to be taking place here in Kampala at Speak Resort Munyonyo from the 7th to the 8th of October this very year. Now, we are expecting high-level guests in this country that will be coming from the Russian Federation, but also teams from Uganda. And with me, just in case you've just joined, I have the ambassador of Uganda to the Russian Federation, Moses Kizige, with me in studios. We've discussed quite a lot of what is going to be discussed, and of course also looked at the history between Uganda and the Russian Federation. Now let's also look at some other aspects, beginning with trade. You know, we are so much now into the economy, issues of economy. Let's look at possibilities of Uganda and the Russian Federation in terms of trade.
First of all, on a positive note, we have some Ugandans who are doing trade in the Russian Federation, and they are doing very, very well, especially in the field of coffee. We have Ugandans who have registered Ugandan companies in the Russian Federation and are exporting coffee directly from Uganda through Mombasa to Russia. You know, when I went to Russia, the Ugandan coffee in Russia is so precious. Ugandans don't take coffee, but the Russians take a lot of coffee because of the winter, the nature of weather they have. They take a lot of coffee. But the coffee they take in Russia comes from Brazil, from Costa Rica, from Vietnam, and then they get 5% coffee from Uganda to change the aroma. This coffee from Uganda is imported from Italy, from Germany. So you get coffee from Uganda, exported to Italy or to Germany, then imported to Russia very expensively. And I said, working with my counterpart here, we said we can take coffee directly to Russia now. So people are enjoying coffee from Uganda, in Russia, and the Ugandans who are exporting coffee from to Russia are making a lot of money. On a container, somebody can make a container of Arabica coffee will cost about $142,000 up to a port in Russia. But $100,000. But you will sell it at $142,000. So just delivering it there, and you made a profit of $42,000 after all the taxes. For Arabica, it even goes to up to about $157,000. So people are making profit, are making a clear out of it. But that is green beans. We also have some 2 Ugandan companies who have registered companies in Russia who are roasting Ugandan coffee in Russia on the Russian standards and selling it. But we also have now, we've opened up Ugandans who roast coffee here, airlift it to Russia, you will still make profits. We had a trial of students, Ugandan students in Russia. They exported the pineapples to Russia because they got them space in the food city in Russia, the biggest place where you can get fresh fruits and the vegetables. And they imported the avocado and the pineapples. A box that KK Food sells in Europe, in the UK, or in Germany at $30, in Russia costs $140. And yet the costs of exporting it are exactly the same. So the market is really unbelievably big. But also interestingly, Russians have picked interest in the Ugandan economy. We have somebody who is now partnering with the Kavumba leather tanning industry in Ruwero. Whatever is rejected, they take it and now turn it into organic fertilizers. We have somebody who is doing fresh fruit drying, packing and exporting to Russia and other European countries. We have people in the mineral sector. Of course, the Russians are interested in the oil and gas sector. So there are so many areas. But we can also have Ugandans come to Russia, not only for trade, but also tourism. You know, visiting visiting the Red Square, for some of you who read the history, visiting the Red Square or the Crimea. This is all history. Somebody should experience. If you buy your ticket in good time, it will cost you not between $600 and $800 return. You come and you spend some 10 days in Russia. Hotels you can get for hotels for as little as $30, $40, $50 because there are so many of them. Very decent hotels, and then you come back for experience. What is important is for you to go through the right channels and make sure that when your visa expires, you come back. You cannot live in Russia illegally because you will not be able to buy food in any supermarket. You will not enter any train. You will not enter any hotel. if you don't have a valid visa. So these are all possibilities for people to open up. But I also want Ugandans to start thinking of medical tourism in the Russian Federation, because they have the best diagnostic equipment, they have the best technologies. You may have a language constraint, but there are always an interpreter somewhere, and then you get the best medical services at very low costs. So these are things. Right now we are negotiating with somebody. He's looking for 10 hectares of land within the Jinja city. He wants to put up a hospital, and if it is put up, it will be the best facility in Africa for all forms of medical treatment, because they have the facilities and they have the money. And right now they are stuck with their money because of what's happening. They are not welcome elsewhere, so they are looking for where to put the money. You hit the nail when it is hot. Otherwise, if you wait for it to cool, you will not get the best result out of it. So let us take advantage of all this. I've already mentioned the tourism. The Russians like leisure. They really like being at beaches. They are always attracted to mainly two things, well, three things: good culture and good reception, which the Ugandans have. Then they want the sun, because seeing the sun in Russia is precious. Because even in the summer, when you say it is summer, you may not see the sun. It is a very cold country, but they like beaches. They like beaches. They want to go and we have the waters, fresh waters, Lake Victoria, Lake Victoria, of course, the shores of the River Nile, even other lakes, everywhere in the country. So we need to develop these facilities into good tourist sites, so that people can come and find the facilities. And we can do partnership with the Russians. The people who are coming to this conference are people who are interested in these areas. So we expect people from Tourism Board, Uganda Investment Authority. All this is being coordinated by PASITE, the Presidential Advisory Committee on Export and Import Development. This is what is called, they are the ones coordinating this, but we want to see real deals concluded in this meeting, such that by the time we sit for the first session, which should be in a year or 2 years' time in Moscow, we can say we achieved this during the third session, and this is what has followed.
Now, that is very interesting. During the third session, this is what has followed. We had the first, we had the second, though time is... But what is that we can say these have yielded results? Because now we are warming up for the third session, but is there anything you can look at and say this was for the second, an outcome of the second, this was an outcome maybe even of the first?
From the first, the second, it is progressive. You already pointed out that as far as the security and defense are concerned, Russia is our primary partner in this field. We work with other countries, but Russia is our primary partner in this field. So as long as our air and national borders are safe, then you can see the presence of Russia somewhere. This has been continuous and it's ongoing, and it will continue. Now we are now into the areas of cyber security. We've not had so many cyber attacks in our systems here because of the cooperation we have with in Russia. I've already mentioned the medical health cooperation, which led into the donation of the truck. But we also have many of our professionals. We have our commissioners of health go for meetings regionally, and the permanent secretary and the minister in the Russian Federation, and they share new findings, new technologies, and the rest of that. So that is an area. Education. I mentioned that we used to have only 15 scholarships. Now we have 50. And the President put the promise that we can increase them to 200 anytime we are ready. We have another program which has been bad-mouthed by the Western media. Very, very bad-mouthed. Maybe I'll find another day to come and talk about that. The Alabuga SAT program, where we are taking young girls for skilling, because like I've mentioned, there is a labor problem in the Russian Federation. Girls are taken and they are skilled in different areas, as they earn some money between $600 and $750 per month. Now we have up to about 357 girls in the Alabuga Start program. But the other day we were saying that Alabuga has been bombed by drones. Alabuga girls are manufacturing drones. Alabuga, this is all nonsense, Western propaganda. You know, you must know that in Busoga we have a saying, atakwenda wagerekera kubanda. When somebody who doesn't like you moves with somebody, you owe money. They say that one will never pay. That one is, that's what is happening between Russia and our Western partners elsewhere. So we have to focus on what is positive, not that we are getting away from the other people, but our cooperation with Russia does not antagonize any other cooperation, because we don't conspire with Russia to hurt anybody. So we have so much that we can do together, and we shall be working together. So from the first session through the second session, we've achieved much, but this third session is interesting, maybe because it has taken long. We have so much stuff to discuss. It's like that. We hope that after it, we will have benefited a lot. But also, I want you to recall that in 2019, at Sochi, we had the first Russia-Africa Summit. And then in July 2022, we had the second Russia-Africa Summit. Then last year, we had the first Africa Council of Ministers. In November this year, we shall have the second Africa Council of Ministers. So this third session comes at a time when there is a general agenda agreed between the Russian Federation and the head of states from Africa. So it is focusing on many things that we've agreed that will be done between the Russian Federation and the African countries. So it is going to be rich.
Thank you so much, Excellency. Now allow me, in the interest of time, so that you can take a minute or two for your final remark.
I want to thank you once again, Mr. Kirabo Nyonyi Ntono. I remember when I met you, I said, what anything to do with the Zikusoka Nyonyi Ntono? Because Zikusoka Nyonyi Ntono is a big name in Busoga. But also we had here Lady Irene Zikusoka. Nyonyi Ntono was one of the first managers of UTV and later on UBC. So I thought you had that connection. But thank you for hosting me. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be here. And I want Ugandans to monitor what will be discussed in the third session. And when the outcomes come, respond. We've also put out, we've sent out the link. The Russian Federation has announced, and we've shared the link for scholarships. Apply for those scholarships because they are for Ugandans. Even the students who are going to sit A-level, much as the link closes on the 15th of January, you can apply and then you put the O-level results. What you have to do is make sure that they are properly verified by UNEB, and then you take them to Ministry of Foreign Affairs for certification, and then you take them to the Russian Embassy for translation, and then you upload them on the link. When the A-level results come, you update the link, your account, and then students will be considered for scholarships. These are the admissions for the September 2026-2027. They are already out. The students that are traveling this year have already started receiving their visas because the process starts in good time. So please, I look forward to seeing you in the Russian Federation. If you have a good reason for coming to the Russian Federation, just make the embassy in Russia know. I will send you an invitation. I will send you an invitation. You come and visit Russian Federation. It is very peaceful. Whatever you hear happening is happening within the borders of Ukraine, not within Russia. So please come and feel the weather in Russia, but also to see the good hospitality of the people in Russia. Most important, see the technology, see the cleanliness in the city, and I wish this can be in Kampala. Recently, the Minister of Kampala, State Minister, my brother Robert Chofa Kabuye was in Moscow, and he went through the metro. The metro is 200 meters underground. We can develop a metro here in Kampala without tampering with the structure here. Because if you put a rail down 200 meters, no building will be affected here. There is no building in Kampala that has a base as deep as the 30 meters. So we can put the metro 200 meters down there and see things happen. But this will only happen when we continue having good cooperation. And most important of all, this I must mention, as we go into the electoral process, people need to have been in Russia during the campaigns. Nobody has the other, no making noise. People campaign and then people choose. Please don't fight each other, don't kill each other. But I urge Ugandans to continue supporting the National Resistance Movement. Vote for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Once again, thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Ambassador Moses Kizige. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, fellow Ugandans, it is on the 7th to the 8th at Peak Resort Munyonyo. That is the third session of the Intergovernmental Commission on Economics, Science and Technological Cooperation between Uganda and the Russian Federation. Please make sure if you're meant to be there, you're there, and let's give it all the blessings we can, because there's so much that we shall benefit in the area of science, in the area of technology, and also in the area of our economy. Russia is a strong partner in all aspects in Uganda's development. Have the best of your day. May the good Lord bless you. See you tomorrow, God willing. Good morning.
Live